Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast superhero edition. That is right. Superhero edition. We have been telling you about this, that it was coming back for a while now, and it is finally back. It has been a long, long time since the last superhero podcast. So right now we got by himself the captain, Byron Mitchell. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, I'm doing good. Always feels good to come back and talk about superheroes. Last time we talked was Batman Day, so if you haven't listened to our Batman Day pod, go ahead and listen to that one. But we got
Jeez.
a lot of catch up on since then.
Man, Pat, that was September?
Yeah, I think we recorded like early October because we wanted to wait till the unveiling of the Batman statue
Yeah, the Hall of
or his
Fame,
Hollywood, yeah,
Walk of
Hollywood
Fame.
Walk of Fame. Yeah,
Yep. So yeah, we'll go through things, movies, TV, games, just some thoughts about what's going on, and we'll go from there.
sounds good.
And we'll go each Marvel, DC, other and all that stuff. So first, movies in Marvel since we've been gone. Byron, one has concluded. Obviously, we talked about Deadpool and Wolverine a long time ago.
hmm
But we had Venom, The Last Dance, the last movie with Tom Hardy as Eddie
hmm
Brock and aka Venom. And movie has done a lot better than what people expected it to do financially.
It made a lot of money in the box office. I can't think of the total was off of my head, but it did well for the trilogy, the last hurrah of Venom. I enjoyed it. I really like the Venom movies. I think the trilogy as a whole is good. This movie is centered around Noel's minions not getting their hands on the key that unlocks Noel's prison, which conveniently Venom has. The action was nice. Story was it was okay, but the end credit scene leaves the door open for a sequel if they wanted to do one, but it also doesn't make sense with how the movie ended. Um, the only thing about the trilogies that I wish we could have had is just that face to face with Spider-Man and Venom. But overall, like I said, I enjoyed the trilogy.
Yeah, worldwide it's made 468,849,654. It was way more than I think people expected it to
Mm-hmm.
make. And I mean, yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. You went three movies without Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how you do
And then
that.
like tease it at the end of Venom 2 on the credit scenes where he got blipped to New York, but they just never did anything with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's, oh man, that's just one of those things, man. Like, where you, I remember back in the day was this No Way Home, the third Spider-Man movie,
Mm-hmm.
and we all thought Venom might be, helping Spider-Man fight those bad
Mm-hmm.
guys because obviously we didn't think actually they were gonna pull off the Maguire and Garfield coming back, but
Right.
it's sad that they never got to um combine it. Also, I wanted to make sure something too because Rex Strickland, he's played by the guy who's supposed to become like the arch enemy to Doctor Strange. If you remember, he was the black
Oh
sorcerer.
yeah, Chiwetel
Hmm.
Ejiofor. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, so are you? Is he never coming back to Doctor Strange? Like you were supposed to leave the door. Like you were supposed to be like a main bad guy, and
Yeah, and they teased that at the end of Doctor Strange and never did anything with that. And then like in the trailers for Doctor Strange 2, you're like, oh, he's gonna be the main bad guy, but then they swerved us and I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever do Baron Mordor's story with Doctor Strange. We'll see though.
we'll see. We'll see. But since then, we'll see if there's a lot of stuff, multiversal stuff, Secret Wars. Maybe Venom gets, who knows? Maybe he gets picked up
hmm
in this fight. Only time will tell. But since then, there have been a multitude of trailers. We got the second Captain America trailer. We got Thunderbolts trailer. We got Kraven. Kraven is the closest one about
Yeah,
to come out of those
it
three.
releases next Friday the 13th. The trailers, they do have me excited about the
Hmm.
movie, but we all know the Sony Spider-Verse movies, like Morbius and Madam Web,
Oof.
haven't been good. Like the most successful ones have been the Venom trilogy. So we'll see what it does. The director, JC Chandor, came out a few weeks ago. Basically said, give the movie a chance. He said, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of it, but here's what I would say. For me as a filmmaker, my number one goal, especially quite frankly, over the last couple of years, where you guys are deep in this world, some of the fans out there, a lot of the fans were upset with certain decisions and certain outcomes of Sony's Spider-Man universe. Then, with other films, they've gone on to be tremendous successes, like the Venom trilogy. So there's been a mixed success rate. People have got to give us a chance and come out and support the film and literally try to wash away some of the other stuff that's happened. Give our film a chance. So I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna give it a chance. But like I said, the
Yeah,
trailers have me hyped.
yeah, I'm gonna see it too. I mean, Kraven, he came more to notoriety for people who didn't know him from the Spider-Man 2 video game that came out,
Mm-hmm.
feels like ages ago. Like
Was it
that,
last December?
yeah, it feels like a lot longer too. But obviously, Kraven was the main bad guy in that movie, in that game for three-fourths of that whole game
Mm-hmm.
before it switched to Venom. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see. He's right. I think with the other ones, the Sony ones, they just do dumb stuff like they tease, oh, let's go fight Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's not even in a movie, or like obviously
Mm-hmm.
Morbius was one of the biggest proponents of that, or like, oh, Morbius meets Michael Keaton's Vulture, but that makes no sense because Michael Keaton's Vulture is like, what are we doing here? Like,
Yeah, they just tried to connect MCU Spider-Man, but they just didn't successfully do it. Like they teased like maybe a Sinister Six movie happening with Morbius and Michael Keaton's Vulture, but like I said,
never
it
happened.
just never connected.
Never happened. So but then before that, and then after that, early 2025, you'll have Cap for A Brave
Yep,
New World, and that one had its new
that
trailer.
a new trailer looked amazing.
Hmm.
Still excited to see it. That comes out February 14th, 2025. So that is the first Marvel project coming out in 2025.
Hmm.
Then after that, Thunderbolts comes out May 2nd, 2025.
And yeah, both interesting because it's like, all right, first Captain America movie without Steve Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it'll be Anthony Mackie first time leading an MCU movie
Mm-hmm.
and working directly with the president, Harrison Ford, who's playing Thunderbolt Ross because that actor passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously Ross and Wilson have history. So, and then we'll see Red Hawk. I don't know how Sam's going to survive that Red Hawk fight for as ever short as it may be. It's probably going to be really short, but I don't know how he survives that. And I don't know why he's the only one where most of the Avengers live in America. So if the White House is getting bombed, then why aren't the rest of them at least communicating?
I don't think we'll ever get an answer to
But
that
he
question. Like,
but he's getting his own Falcon, so he's getting his own sidekick.
yeah, who was introduced in Winter Soldier and
Falcon Winter Soldier.
Falcon? Yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
And then I don't know if Thunderbolts will do, man. I don't have to talk more about that when we get to it. But trailer looks cool. It's just, it's again, I guess people it's easy. It's like another Suicide Squad. You just got
Yeah.
misfits on a team. You got that evil lady from Hawkeye who
Mm-hmm.
you see that she's the one who bought Avengers Tower for whatever reason, and
Mm-hmm.
so we'll see who the main bad guy in that is. Who's going to be the
Yeah,
one
because
who puts this team together? So.
it doesn't. It still haven't revealed like who the main villain is. Like you're led to believe it's Val Greer, which is a evil lady from Hawkeye, but we all know that. Of course, there's going to be a surprise villain, but it looks like it's going to be a good team up film with some great action. The action scenes they've shown in the trailers look good, so I'm excited. We'll see who the real villain is and what causes them to team up. I think from the synopsis, they said like someone's framed. And then,
But it's a group of misfits, like someone like Ghost, who no one has cared about since no one's cared about her.
hmm
Like no one's asking, like, oh, we want more Ghosts, and who has seen an Ant-Man 2, and And that Taskmaster, that was one of the things that was criticized heavily in the Black Widow movie. So, and then
Hmm.
she's back. It was like Elena, obviously, that's fine. Bucky, fine. We'll see what U.S. Agent does in
Oh my
in a
God, I still
movie
hate that
now.
man.
We'll see what all these people do because they're not goes here than Red Guardian and all that. But
Hmm.
there also is the thing where in that second trailer where there's a skinny guy who they find, and if it's really who I think that he's going to play, that is a huge jump in power from the team because that person is probably going to be Sentry, and that's a
Yeah,
lot of power.
that is.
So I don't know if he's the main mission that we got to retrieve this guy from this government ops and
I don't know. But I think you're right. I think he is supposed to be this the Sentry. That is a very huge power scaling from people with no powers to the Sentry.
well, if they have to fight him, they stand no chance. That's why I'm looking
Oh,
at that
not at
team
all.
like,
I think he teams up with them because there was a in the trailer, like they were in a car with him trying to escape, like some people that were shooting after them, and then Bucky comes and tries to shoot them. So I think they're trying to protect him.
we'll see, man. That's going to be very, very interesting. But they got their ducks lined in the row. Kraven, then next year, Cap 4, and the Thunderbolts. DC's got nothing right now. Their last movie was Joker 2. It was so highly anticipated because of how good Joker 1 was. Joker 1
Hmm.
was a Oscar-winning movie, like main actor Joaquin Phoenix winning the Oscar. And
Hmm.
Joker 2, to a lot of fans, was a cash grab, absolute joke, trash can of a movie.
I did not like the movie. I wouldn't call it a trash can. Just it just wasn't good. Like I'm a person, I really love musicals, but the music didn't fit with the tone of the movie. Like the music for a musical is supposed to enhance the story. To me, it just detracted from what the story was going on, and you never want that to happen in a musical. The ending was ass. I literally walked out of the theater and said, "What was the point of that movie?" I still don't know. I still have no idea what the point of that movie was. Maybe it was a cash grab. But I had high hopes for the movie, like you said, because the first one was such a great film and
Hmm.
worthy of all the awards it won. And I was let down.
Yeah. Apparently, there was things where Todd Phillips never talked to James Gunn about anything in the movie and all of that. It was just bad. It was so disrespectful and bad, and you washed your hands with it. Didn't even make that much money compared to the last Joker movie.
Mm.
So it is what it is. Now DC has no movies until Superman,
Yeah.
and they're bone dry right now. Then you go from the movies to the TV. Marvel, since we've been gone, finished Agatha all along. I still couldn't believe
Mhm.
that she got her own show. Um,
I couldn't either, but after watching the series, it was really good. It was surprisingly good and very well written. So anyone who's listening who hasn't watched it, I recommend you do it. It could set up some potential stories for future MCU projects. Again, we don't
okay.
know what is working in Kevin Feige's mind, but it follows directly after the events of WandaVision and explains like one of the stories, one of the characters, like how he is who he is. And then it could sets up for a season two if they do make a season two. But they've been really good about like teasing Young Avengers. So if they want to do it, they have enough characters to do Young Avengers.
Yeah, I think that's one of these things too, where it's like, all right, where's the story connecting? Like you
Mhm.
said, all right, it connects to WandaVision. Cool. So we have the backstories. Where is it going in the forward? All right, now we can potentially, if they do Young Avengers, which, they teased in Captain Marvel 2,
Mhm.
um, where do you go from there? And if it's obviously biggest question mark, is Scarlet Witch dead? From obviously the things of Doctor Strange too. Like, how does this
Mhm.
connect to Scarlet Witch? Because is this help her come back? Is she come? Who knows? But Again, I don't think any of these shows have been that bad. Obviously, next year, the first show back is Daredevil.
Hmm.
And that is one a lot of people have been waiting for. It just came out reports that this is supposed to happen 5 years after season three. That's where they're doing it
Hmm.
timeline wise, which okay. But you were able to get everyone back, which is a feat in itself. 99% of the original cast, and we're waiting because we want to see what's going to happen. We have been waiting.
We have been waiting since the first rumor came out that Daredevil was coming back. The teaser trailer they had looked fantastic. From all the screenshots they've had, it looks fantastic. I cannot wait for it to come out. I might have to watch season three again because I do not remember what happened at the end.
Season three was where they had Bullseye because Bullseye was pretending to be Daredevil and he was
Right,
working
right,
for
right.
Fisk and all of that because Matt he wasn't put on his stuff because he survived that building collapsing and the Defenders.
Hmm.
And then he found out that that nun who was taking care of him all his life was actually his mom, and
Oh,
that,
right,
that
right,
she
right, right.
died because of. Then his priest dude died because of bullseye and all that stuff, and then Fist finds out who Matt is and all that. And yeah, but it's looking
Good
like
recap.
Fist. Yeah, it's looking like Fist is going to run for mayor or is mayor.
Yeah, which I want to see how he becomes mayor after Hawkeye.
Mayor of New
'Cause-
York. Where's
Yeah,
Spider-Man at? Where them New York heroes?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
That's gonna be very very cool. Like I'm that's what was like all right, locking in when that comes.
Hmm.
Excited for the fight scenes. I mean, just last year at GalaxyCon, both the actors from Matt and Kingpin were like, "Don't worry, they took good care of this. Don't worry."
Yeah, it's great to see the actors say that. Like, yeah, that's continuation of what happened on the Netflix series.
Now that they're allowed to be with the MCU, I wonder how they're gonna just throw some stuff in there like like intertwining and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So we'll see. We'll see. Um, and then also on the TV side, I mean, X-Men 97, rightfully so, getting nominated for some awards.
The Critics' Choice Awards, I think they got nominated for Best Animation, I believe. But I hope they win because that season one was fantastic, and I cannot wait for season two.
And everyone talking. And another show that was nominated for awards on the DC side, The Penguin. Who would have thought that a show based off the Penguin from the Batman would be as successful as it was on HBO?
It was really good. It was really good. Like it started off slow, but like once it got going, it was great. Like a lot of twists and turns. Because this is a crime TV show, so you of course you have your twists. Colin Farrell does just a fantastic job again of playing the Penguin. Shows the rise of the Penguin after the events of the Batman movie.
Mhm.
There was a tease for the Court of Owls in the either the seventh episode or the eighth episode. So they could be appearing somewhere down the line. I know that's been a heavy people want that to be the main villain of Batman 2.
Yeah.
But it was
And
really good. So if you haven't seen it, go out and watch it. It's a great show.
and then at the end, I mean, at the end of the whole series, you finally have the Bat Signal finally being lit up,
Mm-hmm.
and this is supposed to lead into the Batman 2.
It's time to return.
We'll see. I know people are going to be asking, like, where the hell has he been when all of this stuff's been going on? And I mean, we'll find out because maybe they'll show us in the Batman 2. Like, city was flooded. He's only one dude. Like, he
Right.
doesn't have, like, the Bat family. Selena Kyle's already gone. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so, well, we'll see. We'll see. Another show, which this probably is going to get us owned more episodes down the line talking about this. Superman and Lois just concluded this week. They
Mm-hmm.
had their final episode. Again, this is ending because they do not want more than one Superman going at a time, whatever. Allegedly, this was supposed to go like 7 seasons, and they had plans for Brainiac, teasing Brainiac and Darkseid and all of that. But neither here nor there. And their final season, Lex Luthor, all of that. And man, this final season, you may be able to put this up with one of the best Arrowverse slash DC TV seasons ever.
It was really good. Like the emotional toil that they took you through from episode one to the last episode was just great. Like the highs were really high, the lows were really low, and it was well written. I know there's been debate on Twitter, like is Tyler Hoechlin the best
Hmm.
Superman? And I'm
Hmm.
inclined to believe that he is. After watching 4 seasons of Superman and Lois, I can confidently say he's probably top three.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just look at the arc the guys had. I mean, you forget how like season three ended with like Doomsday pulling up and they go up to the. That's
Mm-hmm.
how it ends, and then it starts off season four. Man's dead.
Man's
Like
dead.
Doomsday ripped his heart out, and like how evil this Lex Luthor was. Like simple stuff like stomping on Superman's heart in front of his son and killing their grandpa. Like it's just wild.
It
And
was
see,
wild.
and then seeing things that you do not see really ever, like to save a life of the waitress, Superman had to reveal his secret identity.
And that scene was just so well done.
Talked about for the whole week.
Just their moments just kept getting better and better.
And I told you, I was like, man, I don't know if that could have been me. My secret identity, like the world, it ain't gonna be the same no more. But the problem was people started figuring it out a little bit because it's like, damn, Lois, I know we all love Superman, but why y'all crying like this? Because the dude got smoked. Oh,
Right,
y'all know him.
right. Because when the people in Smallville, they were like, "Oh yeah, when my wife died, I cried as hard." Like Lois
Hmm.
was crying. It's like, yeah, he knows.
Hmm. But now that Lex was crazy. Crazy.
Yeah,
Evil. Evil. I
they
mean,
both Lexes they've had and Supergirl and Superman have been top tier Lex Luthors.
hmm. And Cryer talked about it. He just talked about it. He's like, man, I wish I could have, been on this season or something with them. And Lois Lane, Elizabeth, she talked about like one person, people that wish they could have cameoed. Obviously, Melissa, Supergirl,
Yeah.
because remember, they started on Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talk about like technically Tyler Hoechlin has been playing Superman since Supergirl season two. It was
Yep.
just sporadic.
Yep. He would show up when he needed to show up. I feel that way because I wanted Melissa to show up in the last episode too. Because like
Me too. Me
I
too.
think it was Elizabeth who said, "Oh, we got a special guest appearance for the last episode." And I really thought it was gonna be Melissa, and I was
Crypto.
disappointed.
It was
It was
Crypto,
Crypto.
the dog.
Like Crypto, I love Crypto. No offense to Crypto, but I just would have wanted Supergirl more.
Especially that perfect shot of like him's like, yeah, I don't do it alone anymore. And you got everyone flying.
Yep, you got
Like,
his two sons, and then John and his daughter.
yep. And then that would have been Supergirl right there in the back. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because it's like, damn, they really debuted on Supergirl season two. Like, well, he did, and then Lois didn't debut until Elseworlds, like
Mm-hmm.
physically. So, and that's just crazy to think about because that's like Elseworlds was 2018.
All sorts was so good. Got Black Suit Superman.
Yeah, and then that's not even. Imagine if they would have. And just thinking about like this show, man. Like the very first season, we saw the money they were putting into this show. Like they were getting an hour plus for episodes, and
Mm-hmm.
the twists and turns. Like Superman's brother, like being the first bad guy. Like John getting
Mm-hmm.
power. Like it's just something, man. The chemistry between Tyler and Elizabeth. Like you're like, all right, this is really Clark Kent and like Lois Lane. Like this is crazy.
There's a whole perfect casting for everybody. Like, there's not one person I was like, they could have got someone else to play that character. Like,
Mhm.
perfect casting throughout the 4 seasons.
Yeah, man. You think it's, and then the ending, man, had people in tears.
Oh, that
The
ending was
growing, the
so
growing, the growing old part of life because Superman didn't have his heart anymore. So it's like, damn, he's really about to like die for good.
right because he had the grandpa's heart.
Hmm.
So, like, of course, it's a human heart, so it's eventually gonna go out. And just saw them growing old together, and John and Gordon growing up and having kids and potentially them having super genes.
Yeah.
That
Look, the cancer coming back to Lois, that hurt, man.
that hurt. That hurt. I was like, oh, she was done. And then ugh, the ending was it was perfect.
Second one kind of where it ended in the afterlife because I mean that's Arrow's one ended basically with Felicity basically killing herself to go be with
Yeah.
Oliver in the afterlife, but
Yeah, after 10 years after anti-monitor.
so it was sad, man, because it's like that was the last show ever on for DC TV. Like most of stuff's gonna be on like Max and all that, and
Hmm.
just thinking how it all started with Smallville and it ended with Superman and Lois, and then just realizing how blessed you really were, like that you had from the Arrowverse, from Arrow to this and all this. You had a super connected universe for almost 10 years.
Yeah. And it all started with Arrow on CBS, really. Like when it first came out, I was like, oh, okay, it's another DC show. Like whatever. It was successful, but I never thought it would grow into 10 years of the Arrowverse.
Yeah. And I mean, everyone, and I think it's more sad too, because you really think about like everyone really got their ending except for Legends of Tomorrow. Because Legends of Tomorrow, technically, they're still stuck. They never got a definitive end because, they're just like, oh, yeah, we're ending this show.
Because we didn't want to run out the space anymore. I still hate them. I still hate them for that. Because they were supposed to do a season five. And I think they ended season four because they got caught. And they're about to go to jail, and that was going to be their season next season. And then they're like, whatever,
I
we'll
mean,
cancel it.
it definitely Superman and Lois endings definitely made me do a lot of just rewatching like clips from like just the Arrowverse, like shoot like Oliver and Barry meeting Superman for the first time in
Hmm.
Elseworlds and like just stuff like that. Just like man, we really had this consistently for weeks.
That's I don't think Batwoman got her ending because they were supposed to get another season along with Legends.
I thought that they had a nice little ending on
Because
theirs
remember, like at the end, they tease like all those like prison weapons getting out.
because she was back. They finished at season three.
Yeah, because they also tease that the original Batwoman, Kate, was gonna go fight Bruce because Bruce has been missing this entire time.
Yeah, because I remember the part where you're talking about, but they found Kate at the end of season two, though.
Yeah, and she got brainwashed by a Black Mask, and then they
Hmm.
finally unbrainwashed her, and then she's like, "All right, well now I'm gonna go find Bruce because we still don't know where he is."
And still one of those things, man. Like it's still, I forgot Luke made
Batwing.
hmm Then Renee finding out my woman's identity from, man, so this stuff was crazy.
Man, I miss Arrowverse, man.
Like John Diggle, yeah, that's when John Diggle was still going to every season.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Girlfriend. Yeah, man, it's something because they got to their seasons. I mean, Arrow got to 8, Flash got to 9, and the bad thing is they still, if they wanted to, they could have went to 10.
They could have.
Yeah, like like they could have went to 10. I mean, just think about stuff like Stargirl. Like Stargirl ended with well, whatchamacallit? John Wesley Ships Flash like being in it and like
Hmm.
stuff like that, or shoot, our show like just think about like I'm thinking about like man. When's the last time I like maybe I should do like a Black Lightning rewatch because we forgot how good that show was. Like,
That was good. That they got 4 seasons, ended when they wanted how they wanted to end.
yeah, the family they basically retired, they left it to the kids, and
I don't want it more, but
so many. It's just the fact that we left with all these cliffhangers, and we'll never get some of these things ever again. Like Flash season 9, I never would have thought that we finally would have got one more Oliver and Barry team up, but they made a way to do it. They made a way to also have an Oliver and Diggle finally seeing each other. They never got to see each other during Crisis. Um, and Oliver just saying that thing like, "Hey, man, I can intervene with the multiverses."
It was a multiversal threat. That's the only time I can come back.
Like, yeah, I could come back from life. Oh yeah, and it's just like having that team, having them at the bar, like the classic bar scenes. If you watch the Arrowverse, you saw it at the very first crossover. You saw it out every time, man. There's always those two talking at the end of a crossover, really, besides a Crisis. So
Hmm.
it's just crazy. It's crazy to think that all these years now, all these memories, and I saw a lot of tweets of people talking about, hey, when the Arrowverse started, I was in high school or I was in college and now I'm
Hmm.
this and I'm that, or I was a kid and now I've graduated college. I've watched it all the way. I'm just like, that's how much time has gone with the shows, man.
Because Arrow was first season was 2014.
14 around. Uh, get the exact date. Arrow season 1, October 10th, 2012.
Oh, 2012, so 12 years of Arrowverse.
Hmm.
So yeah, it debuted my senior year of college.
And then that's 2012. Now we're in 2024.
Yeah.
No more, no more superhero TV on, and they were pulling in big numbers, 500,000 on CW.
Right, and they literally did the biggest crossover known to man. Crisis on Infinite Earths. They pulled it off successfully. Maybe we'll probably never see any TV show do that type of crossover event ever again.
No, no, no. It's wild, man. It's 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 crazy to see, like, and then seeing these people like talking at events and all that, or seeing like Instagram posts like them hanging out or something. It's
Hmm.
just like, man, we really
I
have
always
this
love.
every. We always have this every week.
Hmm. I
Too
always
for
love those
granted.
random Instagram posts where like, oh, Supergirl reunion. Oh, I miss that.
It's yeah. It's funny too because I mean Superman had to do an interview exposing his identity to the world. That's how Supergirl ended with her exposing
Hmm.
her identity to the world. So it's like is what it is. And I think yeah, Lex was in her final. Was Lex in her final season? Or was he already dealt with?
Can't remember.
I remember they had to fight all those different baddies, and they had a little team up with everyone. I don't remember if Lex was in the final episode because he hated Supergirl.
Oh, he hated Supergirl. I remember that first episode he debuted. I'm like, man, this motherfucker been playing this for what, 5, 6 years while he was in prison?
Like, it's something, man. But alas, with the Arrowverse, a new series. Technically, James Gunn's universe has started with Creature Commandos. First couple episodes are out on HBO Max. Don't know if that's what you would. That's what they're starting it with. I mean, it was great
Gotta
to
start
hear. But
somewhere.
Viola Davis as Amanda Waller, great to hear.
She's so good as Amanda Waller.
Oh yeah,
Perfect
perfect,
casting.
perfect. So here we are, man. It's the start.
So start. We'll see. I haven't watched the 2 episodes yet, but I'm planning on it. I'm excited to see what he does with this new universe and how he wants to connect it, and hopefully he doesn't make dumb decisions like CW and DCEU did. We'll see. I trust James Gunn. His Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy was amazing, so I think he can pull it off.
Hey man, sometimes now just rewatching some stuff from the DCU was like, damn, had some good. There's some good stuff here and there.
Some good. I just don't know where they went wrong. Like Because I think the main one is that they weren't trying to be like Marvel and have a connected universe, but at the same time they were trying to have a connected universe, and I don't know.
I mean, with the movie, with the DCU, I mean, I felt like it all went down after Aquaman because they had some changes in leadership, like the Wonder
Mm-hmm.
Woman movie, like basically being like our Christmas time. Like the second one wasn't as good.
Mm-mm.
Like the Shazam was good, but it didn't get enough press. Like Shazam wasn't. It just
Zam 2 wasn't really that good as the first
no.
one.
And like the Justice League stuff, I mean, if the Schneider Cut was the original thing that came out, things would have been different. But you can't foresee your daughter passing the way she passed. So, and Whedon just
Yeah,
messing it up.
if I had a time machine, I would go back in time and say, "Hey, man, do not change the Snyder cut. Like, don't do anything different, Josh Whedon, or you will ruin this franchise."
Yeah, because it's just wild to think how that Schneider Cut came out years later, and it was completely 9 day, and it had me, Jordan, think like, yeah, dude, I want to keep this going. Like, I want to see where this is going.
Right, they had Stefan's character was
Significantly better.
totally different,
Hmm.
better than the Whedon cut. Like he actually
Dark
gave it a backstory and
Dark Side.
Darkseid. The whole prepare the Armada line
I'm
still
probably
haunts
gonna.
me. That we could have had.
Martian Manhunter pulling up to Batman's cribbo.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, I've been Martian Manhunter since Man of Steel 1, bro. I just didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
come help it. Like,
I've been watching. Now it's time for me to reveal myself because we got a
yeah,
big threat coming.
yeah, Darkseid coming back, right? Like, okay, okay.
And it also made Cyborg look better than
Yes.
the original cut.
Yep. Flash had a big moment. Like, there's
Mm-hmm.
overall better, man. Just like it had me clamoring like now anytime you could go on Twitter and randomly you'll start seeing, restore the Snyderverse or make the Ben Affleck Batman movie, which that's never happening. But
No.
because then you see the pictures of Joe Magliano as Deathstroke. Can't even say his
Mm-hmm.
full last name, but you're just like, we completely wasted a Deathstroke like this, man.
We really did.
So it's just wild.
uh,
But we'll see how it goes. I mean, Superman will be the first movie. People are alleging, Byron, that the trailer is going to come out the week of the 16th.
I've been saying that on Twitter. If it happens, it happens. We'll see. I thought it would come like out during the Super Bowl, as the movie comes out in July. Yeah, July 25th. So I felt like, oh, Super Bowl will be a good time for it to release. But hey, if he wants to release it early in December, I will gladly watch it.
Same here. Not even. It will be very intense when that trailer comes out.
Hmm.
As we will all be like, all right, what's this guy look like as Clark, as Superman? What's going on? And
Right, because like you can see the pictures and like, okay, he looks good in the suit, but like just seeing the trailer just makes it
mhm,
so much different.
we already know there's other superheroes in it. Like, what's happening? Like, all right,
Hmm.
we'll see. We'll see. That's what that. Video games wise, Marvel Rivals just came out yesterday, of
Yep.
our recording, and already over 400,000 people are on it, which I always still crack up because I'm like, ain't no way. Like, y'all don't got work? Like,
It came out 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night, so 440,000 people is where it peaked yesterday. They were all waiting for it. It's free to play. Came out with 33 characters. Like I've watched the gameplay on it. It just looks fantastic. I'm really excited to play it, especially since we don't have Marvel Avengers anymore.
technically, you can still get on and play.
Yeah, it's not the same.
It's there's still people on my friends list who still hop on.
Yeah.
Like, but no, I understand what you're saying. It's not the same like when it was first came out, and I feel like that's the thing. Like, I feel like this was the I haven't played the game yet. I mean, I dived into like a tutorial a little bit before hopping on
Hmm.
here, but that's just something Marvel's Avengers needed, like a PvP mode.
Hmm.
Like, it's because this game, I mean, this is strictly just a battle royale. There's no story mode. There's no. It's just, play in, do the little things, and keep
Yep.
going.
six versus six.
Yeah, and there's no one who could tell me anything wrong about Marvel's Avengers story mode. I love that story mode. I
Oh, the
love
story
that
mode was
story mode.
great. I wish we had a. What I really wish
That's
they
another.
would have
See, it's,
got to do what they wanted to do.
yeah. I again, man. If anyone's listening for Marvel's Avengers, love to interview you because I want
Mm-hmm.
to really know what happened. I want to know what was going on with the Kree. I was going to know when X was going to come in. When was this
Mm-hmm.
superhero going to come in? Like, I still just watched. I still randomly watched the scene where you finally get Hawkeye back. Well, you get Hawkeye back the first time, and you're sitting in the Avengers hangar, and he's
Mm-hmm.
telling you about the Kree, and they're like, "All right, tell us what we need to do to prepare," and then he disappears. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, it's and they have so many characters, so many different things. Like, see, every time I talk about that game, it makes me want to play.
Facts. It was so good.
Just yeah, just COVID, man. COVID messed up a
COVID,
lot of
yeah.
things.
COVID
Like
did, man.
I'm telling you, if you would have did PvP, had some different. I know they were talking about having some different villains besides AIM in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like we never got to go to Asgard because Loki was fake, or we all knew it. It's just
Right.
those type of things we never got. Like it sucks when you never get these payoffs in these superhero genre, but that's what
Mm-hmm.
happens sometimes, man. But Marvel's already going out strong. They already got this new game out. Everyone's liking it so far. Day one. And again, this is what I always say with DC. Come on. I mean, they just dropped, they had their Arkham Shadows, which also got nominated for a VR Game of the Year.
Really?
I think at the Game Awards, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
it's nominated for something. It actually is nominated for something. I don't know if it was VR Game of the Year or something, but it's nominated for something. But
That
again,
was
it's a VR game. When we have not had a console game. Whereas all this talks about this Wonder Woman game we're supposed to get. Like the alleged, not even going to talk about it on here, but the alleged rumors of, we talked about a little bit of another Batman Arkham game coming because they're like, dude, we need to get back in this because Suicide to Kill the Justice League was absolutely terrible. But then they released, I mean, Deathstroke, they're still going in the game, and I commend them for that. But
yeah,
Deathstroke's their next season, and the Deathstroke looks freaking clean. I'm like,
he
man,
does.
this is the type of thing that makes me want to play. If Deathstroke looking that clean, but it's just
Yeah, DC needs to rebound with a good game because their last couple have not been great. Suicide Squad, Gotham Knights.
I think Gotham Knights could have been so much better if you actually would have kept your promise.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, there was going to be so much post game content, but there
But
was no post game.
there's only did that one thing and that was it. I
That
forget what
was
it was
it.
called.
Heroic Assault.
Yeah, Heroic Assault, and that was it.
Like I liked it. I liked randomly driving through Gotham at night and all of that, and you could stop random crimes and
Mm-hmm.
like all that or assigned crimes. And I liked going through Gotham and all that stuff at night. And there's actually people in Gotham. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like the Arkham games where everyone's just magically gone as magically criminals. There's people and you're interacting with them and this and that. Again, man, so much good stuff just not hitting the landing.
Sad, man. It's sad when it happens. Because I had so much hope for Gotham Knights. I had so much hope for Suicide Squad. Like I watched the story, like not all of it, but part of the story for Arkham Shadows. So like, wow,
Oh,
this
shit's crazy.
story is the story is good. Why can't I play this?
Mm-hmm. You're not spending that money on just on Oculus to play one game.
Right.
So, nah, man, it's just and Gotham Knights I've not touched since I beat that game because it's just like, what's the
What's the what's the point?
what's the point? Besides if I just want to randomly go around Gotham,
Right.
like I don't know, man, that's tough. It's but with Arkham Shadow, I mean, adding so much lore back to the Arkham verse, who knows what they'll do
Mm-hmm.
if they'll make another one in that time frame before Arkham Asylum. But man, it's tough. They gotta get it going.
If you do make another one before Asylum, please put it on console for the people who play console. Please.
Yeah, yeah, agreed, agreed. I mean, Anything
Because
else,
I
Byron?
remember
No, go
Marvel
ahead.
Rivals when it first came out, it said, "Oh, it's gonna be PC only." I was like, "Oh, well, that's whatever. I'm not gonna play it on PC." And then they heard the backlash where everyone said, "Put it on console," and they said, "Okay, we'll put it on console." Like, I don't understand why Arkham Shadow didn't do that as well.
If you want to just play a new game, you can just play the re-release of the games on Switch.
Oh yeah, the Arkham trilogy.
hmm Just play it on Switch. That could be your thing, man. It's Byron. Anything else, man? There was a lot to catch up on,
No, I think we covered everything.
and it's when Superman and Lois were ending, it was sad and happy again seeing like all the old Arrowverse Twitters and social medias back up.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was just like, damn, man, these shit, they come back when a show's about to end, pay their respect, and
Never hear from him again
never.
unless James Gunn decides that he wants to bring the Arrowverse back, which he could.
He has all the
But
power to do so.
yeah, all the power is in his hands now.
But I highly doubt he will.
Yeah, but
Um,
we'll see what his vision is for the DCE.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we're still at the end of 2024.
Hmm.
We still have not seen the Superman trailer. We still don't know who's playing Batman in his world.
Nope. I wonder if they'll like do that at like the end credits scene of Superman and the Superman movie.
I mean, superheroes are already established in that thing because there's gonna be like four other superheroes in Superman's movie.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl. I can't remember the other two.
Shoot, we already had the Lantern show. We already have all the lanterns basically almost
Hmm.
cast. So I don't know, man. It's something to behold. Just we'll have to wait and see. He's calling those shots. He's calling the shots. But shoot, with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe wherever you listen. A lot of superhero stuff going on. Check out Marvel's Rivals. If you do have an Oculus, check out Arkham Shadow. Watch Creature Commandos. Get ready for 2025 when Marvel movies back in the fold, Superman, things like that. We'll be covering all of that. With that being said, L7C podcast signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.